But I will talk about the NBA ratings. That's the last thing I'm gonna talk about, right? The NBA ratings. So it's a dude named Patrick Bet David. I don't know if you know him. He's like a financial dude. He got a podcast. Cool dude, right? He talk about sports in his podcast. He talk about everything in his podcast. So every now and then I tune into him. And they kind of like what do you want to call them? The far right? They kind of think like that, right? So they don't like LeBron and they don't like BLM and all that stuff, man. They say a bunch of stupid stuff, man. So they trying to blame the decline of the NBA on LeBron and the fact that the NBA went woke, right? So I'm gonna play for you what he said, and then I'm gonna play for you what Rasheed Wallace said about the NBA, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think is really going on with the product of the NBA and why it's diminishing.
For the longest time, when you think about Thanksgiving games, when you want to have Thanksgiving, what sport plays on TV?
Football.
Okay. When you think about Christmas Day, what do you think about for the longest time? It's always been basketball.
Always. Yeah.
Well, Christmas Day was always basketball, and they would have a bunch of different things that would happen. This year, it was a different story. So I post a tweet this year. I want to talk about some of the numbers on NFL against the NBA, how the NBA is getting destroyed. So I posted this. I'm glad you have it, Rob. Perfect. So I get this from this one website. I want to give these guys proper love because they're actually classy guys, and they reached out to me, and I simply reshared whatever was in the score. I'll give it to them here in a minute. They're somewhere there. Numbers don't lie. The current NBA regular season product absolutely sucks. NFL gets more viewers in one game than NBA gets in 5 games combined. Vinny, ready? Times 2. Watch this number. Go ahead. So can you pull it up a little bit so we can see the numbers, Rob?
Boom.
NFL's average viewership over 3 2022 Christmas Day games was 21.9 million. That's the average, Vinny. The average of NBA game on Christmas Day was 4.3 million. By the way, during Michael, that used to be 8.8 million. Okay.
Double.
But it is what it is. So let's go past this, Rob. Then go to the story. Check this out with numbers. George Karl decides to respond back to me, okay? And he retweets, and if you don't know who George Karl is, he's got 1,175 wins in the NBA.
The Seattle Supersonics. He's also Denver. This guy's been around the block.
No question about it. Rob, let's go back to the story. He retweeted it. Not there. You were at the right place. Yeah, so right there. So here's a couple other stats from George Karl, the coach. By the way, as an MLB owner, your product sucks worse than any major sport. 450 million basketball play basketball around the world, and the number is skyrocketing while 5 million people around the world play football, and that number is plummeting. Numbers don't lie. So numbers don't lie. The current, okay, so then I responded back to him as well. They can go a little lower. There's more exchange. But let me show the numbers. Go up, Robert, right there. All right, watch this, guys. This is Christmas Day. NFL decides to start having Christmas Day games.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Raiders, Chiefs. 29.17 million.
Damn.
Giants, Eagles, 29.02. I thought Ravens, 49ers would have been the most. 27.23 million. Look at the NBA games on Christmas Day. Bucks, Knicks, 2.5 million. Warriors, Nuggets, 4.1 million. Celtics, Lakers, Vinny, Christmas Day.
5 million, that's it.
76ers, Heat, only 1.3 million. And Mavs, Sun, you're talking about Luka against Booker, against Durant, 1.5 million people. You combine all the NBA games together times 2, it still doesn't beat an NFL game.
One game.
Now,
the Heat are the defending conference champion, Jimmy Buckets, right?
Nobody cared. Now keep going lower. Now watch this.
Jimmy didn't even play.
So it gets worse. It gets worse when I'm comparing those. So another guy responds back and he says, "That's not fair because the NBA plays 82 regular game seasons and the NFL only plays 17." I said, "No problem. Let's do that. If the NBA averages 4.3 million views per game in the regular season, the NFL averages 21.9. 82 times 4.3 equals 352 million views. The NFL only plays 17. 17 times 21.9 equals what? 372 million people. George Karl, being the fact that he's a basketball guy, I told Coach Karl, that's like a basketball player taking only 17 shots, scoring more points than the other guy that took 82 shots. Pretty embarrassing. Go a little lower, okay, when it comes down to the dollars. Keep going. When it comes down to dollars, I think it's a little bit above that with the dollars, okay? Here's a revenue. 2022, NFL took in $17 billion revenue. MLB, the boring sports that he's talking about, $10.5 billion. NBA took $9.6 billion, and MLS, that's a small little product that's coming up. It's at $1.5 billion. NHL's at $4.9 billion. He asks, I explain why I think this has happened. And number one, every league has to decide who its number one customers. I think in the NBA, the number one customer is the player. They've shit on the customers. They've shit on fans. They've shit on clients that wanted that father that can only spend $600 a year to go to a game to watch LeBron play. He's probably taking a day off that day. That father that wants to take his kid that he can only afford to go watch one game, that guy's not going to play 82 games a season. Are you out of your mind? Zion takes every other game off and is getting paid the kind of money that he's getting paid. Number two, the NBA contracts protect players more than owners. And last but not least, point number three, Rob, if you want to go to number three, if it's still there or not, the NBA went woke during COVID and became 100% political organization. Once it happened, you know what happened to their viewership last 10 years? They lost 50% of their viewership the last 10 years. Do you know what is the most viewed finals game of all time? Michael Jordan, 1998 against the Utah Jazz.
So I used that soundbite for the information because he did the legwork and pulled up all the numbers and compared Christmas Day NFL to the Christmas Day games of the NBA, which is crazy because the NFL is just newly started entering this Christmas space. They had Thanksgiving on lock. NBA had Christmas on lock. Now the NFL is like, we want both days. So they ain't in the Christmas space, and they came in and destroyed the NBA this Christmas. I was even watching NFL this Christmas. And I'm a basketball guy, right? I was watching NFL. There was better games. The NFL got a better product on the field than the NBA, right? I'm gonna get to why I think why, but he trying to tie it to all of this other stuff, like being woke and what happened in 2020. And if you caught him, he tried to talk real fast, but if you caught him when he said his point number three, why he think the NBA product is declining, is he said in 2020 they went woke. Talked about BLM. If you listen to his stuff, they talk about BLM all the time. They just don't like it, right? And a lot of people had an issue with the NBA trying to support BLM and support George Floyd and all that stuff. They felt like, hey man, you going too soft. They wanted the NBA to be like the NFL was on Colin Kaepernick, right? So a lot of people was threatening to leave the NBA as far as being a fan and being a viewer, right? I don't know if people actually turned away from the NBA because of that, but people seem to still be mad at the NBA for that. People like him, right? But then he said the last 10 years that they've been declining. Well, if you're talking about they declining from something that happened in 2020, you can't go back 10 years and then act like that, those declining numbers are attached to 2020. So he tried to slide that in there. So I don't think it's an issue of people that think the NBA went woke or it's a political thing with them leaving the NBA. And if it is, then those are the people that the league don't really need around them anyway. Like if you just like basketball, just like basketball. Like, if they went woke in 2020 and that turned you off, okay, cool. They're not doing it no more. So, and the basketball product is still there. So if you like basketball, watch it. So this little boycott that he think that everybody's leaving the NBA because they too woke, I don't think is real. But those numbers are real, right? So here's Rasheed Wallace on his podcast talking about what he think is wrong with the NBA.
They got to have some type of other storyline because of I think the lack of entertainment with it. It's all looking like I don't know if y'all remember Nintendo 64. Mm-hmm. Y'all remember the game Namu Rebel. Yeah. And what happened? Every time they come across half court, it's like do. And everybody always used to run up to that top corner or down to that to the bottom wing and shoot the three. Sure. Yeah. That was it. Same thing when we played NBA Jam, it was either you're gonna shoot the three or you're gonna shoot the dunk. That was it. And that's how it is now. It's like, that's it. They coming across half court, 1-2 dribbles or maybe one pass, and you chucking up a 40-footer. And then you got 50 of these shots happening out of the 100 and something possessions. No, we need something else. Come on, we need something else. We need to get people attracted. So
but that's what the analytics say. You got to shoot the three. It's more than two. So they say.
Yeah, true. But the analytics is what got the game how it is now, where they got gimmicks, where they doing shit. How you not gonna call a travel call? How you gonna try to say that after I pick my dribble up, I take a sidestep 3 or 4 steps, it's not a travel. How if I'm hitting a Euro step where my first step I'm stepping through, but that second step I'm sliding and dragging my back foot? No, that's all travel. But they don't call it. They let it go. What is it doing? It's putting the skill set down, because now you got guys working on the wrong shit. Now you got guys who want to work on this pump fake. I'm going to take a dribble right and 4 steps left and I'm going to shoot the 3. Like, nah, come on. Call that. When I was playing, if I fucked up, made a mistake, if I felt as though I didn't travel, I asked the referee, yo, what I do? Hey, I might get a little demonstration. Hey, when you jab, you pick the other.
So you heard that, and that's what I was alluding to. That comment is on the screen right now. Anthony Dwayne. NBA rule changes over the years diminish the product on the court. What you see on the court matters. The eye test still matter. That's what I think it is, and they can't ignore that. So why they're changing rules? I mean, it's so many people who talked about it. Charles Oakley talked about it. It's Adam Silver was talking to Garnett about it, and he asked him, "Are we going back to the normal rules where we can play defense again, where we can hand check?" And Adam Silver's reply to that was no. He said he don't think that's a more appeasing product on the floor. He think the way they got it now is more appeasing. He said he don't like the fact that someone that's bigger than Steph Curry, he used Steph for example. He don't like the fact that someone bigger than Steph Curry can hand check him and stop Steph Curry from doing what he do on the court, because Steph Curry got a skill set that needs to be seen, which is cool. I get that. Steph Curry got a skill set that needs to be seen, but if you're making it easier for him and you handicapping defenders, like let's say someone like Tony Allen, who was a great defender, or someone like Ron Harper, who was a great defender, he's 6'6", he wouldn't be able to guard Steph. He would be at Steph's at his disposal. He'd just be there, and he can't out quick Steph, right? But his strength is his size. So if he can ever get his hand on Steph, then now he got the advantage. So the best part of the league in the 90s and the early 2000s was a big guy can use his advantage, and a small guy had to figure out how to use his advantage. So if you got a bigger guy guarding you, then maybe you got to develop some off-ball skills and run off screens and have that big guy chasing you off screens. They're not going to like that, right? That's what Reggie Miller would do, run off screens. Rip Hamilton was a small frame, but he'll run off them screens. That was his advantage. I'm going to run off these screens and catch and shoot, and you can't chase me for 4 quarters. And you got to run through all these screens. Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Antonio McDyess, Chris Webber when they had Chris Webber. Darvin Ham was there. They hitting you with all those screens. You trying to chase Rip Hamilton. By the time you get to the 4th quarter, it's going to be a different ball game. Your body going to feel different. And it's definitely going to feel different in the morning, right? So that was the art of the game. That, like, when the game was harder, you had to use every part of the game. You had to use your off-ball skills. You had to use your posts. You had to, people was pressing you from 94 feet. You had to walk the ball up court, sometimes turn your back just to get past half court, right? They changed the rules, like, all right, you can't have 10 seconds. We want to speed everybody up. You only got 8 seconds to get up across half court. And now you can't have a big man in the lane for more than 3 seconds. That's a defensive three in the key, because they wanted the lane to be more open for drives, right? Then you can't get the ball in the post and have your back to the basket longer than 5 seconds. So they'll call that. They start making all these rules to speed the game up. And every time they made a rule change, they was making it harder and harder and harder for defense to be played. They took hand check out. Everything was gone. So now you got to the point where now, like Rasheed said, you got a game where it looks like double dribble. You just got 5 dudes out there. All of them are guard. Remember in double dribble, they all was the same size. They all played guard. You couldn't post on Nintendo. Everybody was standing at the 3-point line, and you either got the ball, ran to the rim and did that dunk, where that show that slow motion dunk, or you shooting a 3. That's it. And that's what the game has turned into, is either we drive to the hole for a layup or a dunk, or we shooting a 3. And it's boring as hell. Nobody likes it. The game is rigged. They're trying to appeal to a European market, because they said forget the American market. They ain't going nowhere. We trying to get this European money. And that's why the ratings dropping, because they're not trying to satisfy us and what we like to watch for basketball. They're trying to satisfy the European market, and they're changing the game to look more like a European game. And then they're taking the European stars and giving them all the favor of the whistle so they can turn into superstars, because if they turn into superstars, then the people that's in their country will watch them more. So you got to watch that. Like they're pushing Jokic and pushing Luka and all this stuff, and they're great players. But those are type of players that we've seen in the 90s before get bullied by Shaq and get bullied by Karl Malone and Webber and Rodman. Like Divock had just as much skill as most of these European bigs isn't here now. The only difference was Divock, when he showed up, he couldn't use that skill. They wasn't going to allow him to run point and bring the ball up court and be the assist man all the time. Even though he in that Princeton offense in Sacramento, him and Chris Webber did do a lot of passing out of the high post and the low post and stuff like that. But as far as handling the ball, he could do it. But there was no coach that was going to allow you to do that in the 90s and the early 2000s. They wasn't going to let you do it. Sabonis was probably one of the best centers we ever seen. But when he came over here, they wouldn't allow him to shoot threes, even though he had 3-point range. They wasn't letting him knock down threes like they letting big men do now. He was in that post, and you had to guard Shaq, right? When Yao Ming first got here, oh my God, the way they was bullying Yao Ming, his first game was Shaq. Shaq took offense to that. Shaq was trying everything. He tried to bully him. He was talking about his mama, everything. You know what I mean? So that's the type of bullying that they was doing that they're not allowing no more, because they want the European starters to succeed and strive and all of that good stuff, right? So they diminishing the game on their own to try to appease a market for more money, and then they think that more scoring will bring more eyes on the game, because the way the game was in the 90s, you would really have to love basketball to watch it. But the way the game is now, you can enjoy it and not like basketball. That's why you see Rihanna and all these superstars, singers that don't know nothing about the sport at the game, because it's fun to watch them boys out there just play an all-star game. Every game is an all-star game. You got the Atlanta Hawks scoring 150 points 4 straight games this season. How? You got two guys that's capable of getting you 30, and that's Murray and Trey. And Trey is the size of my son. So how they getting 150 that often is crazy. 150? That's crazy. Well, we had games in the 90s that ended 95 to 90 or 87 to 78. Those were the type of games we had back then. But now we got regularly 120 and occasionally 150. That's an all-star game. And let's not even talk about the all-star game. Mike Malone said the basketball he seen last year in the all-star game was the worst basketball he ever seen in his life. It's the all-star game is getting to the point where it's looking like the NFL Pro Bowl. Nobody wants to watch it. Why would I watch the all-star game? It is the most horrible game. I mean, it's bad. I would rather watch the WNBA, any WNBA game before I watch an NBA All-Star game. I would rather watch MTV Celebrity Game during All-Star Weekend than to watch the freaking All-Star game. That is the worst game. So they keep coming up with all these gimmicks to try to, all right, man, we broke the league, but we want to keep it that way. So let's try to do an in-season tournament and see if we can get people interested. Then let's try to do a play-in tournament for the 8 seed and see if people get interested. Then let's do X, Y, and Z, and let's give a center for this, and all this crazy stuff. You're doing all these gimmicks because you're trying to pique interest back in your league. But the reason why you don't have interest in your league is because you messed the game up. The game on the floor is what's wrong with the NBA. It ain't got nothing to do with going woke and none of that stuff. Y'all messed the game up on the floor. Defense is out of the question. Post game is gone. Mid-range game is gone. It's just trash. And y'all letting people run around like Muggsy Bogues would average 30 in this league. And Muggsy, hey, like, come on, you gotta let me take advantage of Muggsy. If I'm 6'6" and I'm guarding, you gotta let me beat Muggsy up. Come on, man. Don't make rules where Muggsy is murdering people because I can't touch him. I can't put my hands on him. Man, Muggsy will eat in this league. Spud Webb too. And probably Caitlyn Jenner. She'll eat too. But that's my spiel on that, man. I'm gonna open the phone lines up one last time before we end. so I can see what y'all think about this whole thing and what the NBA product has turned into. Let me see if I can get that phone number back up here. There we go. All right, phone line's back open for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna end it, and then I'll catch y'all on the next stream. What up, Jules?
What up, though?
All right, Mo, what you got for me? Did I hit the nail on the head, or am I off?
Yeah, that dude you was talking about with all his numbers. Well, for the longest of time, only Holiday, the NBA, that only started in 1990 on Christmas, bro. Guess what? Because Michael Jordan was ascended.
Yeah.
They made money off that, okay?
Yeah.
And let me let him in on a little secret. I wish I had him on here. Before 1990, every Christmas, it was 2 football games, an 11 o'clock game or noon, depending on where you at, and a 3 o'clock game or 4 o'clock game, dog. NFL has always been America's pastime since it overtook baseball back in the damn 60s.
Right.
Period. And like you said about the NBA, when they took the hand checking out and took and made a defensive 3 seconds where the defensive center couldn't camp in the lane.
Yep.
I mean, damn, dude, they killed the game, bro. In other words, they talk about ain't no basketball IQ in basketball no more because they took all the thinking out of it. Like you said, Steph Curry, if the game was like it used to be, he would have to go watch old Reggie Miller tapes because Reggie Miller was nonstop motion. How the hell you think he got open all the time?
Yeah.
Had to use his off-ball skills. Come on, dog. You know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what it is. So you hit the head on all that.
Oh, so the game is messed up and they messed it up with the rule changes. That's your opinion.
Well, plus threes, dog. It's a rare few players in the NBA that got a mid-range game or a back to the basket game.
Facts.
Come on, But you hit it on the head. I just want to clear up a few things. I mean, 30 years ain't shit. The NBA been on NBC starting with, and another thing they lost when they went away from NBC. Remember how NBC before the Christmas games, before each game, they would set it up with the little music in the background.
Yeah.
They would actually set up the game like a storyline.
Yeah, they did. I remember. I remember NBC on Sunday afternoons.
On Sundays too, right? Whenever they had games, yeah,
man.
But it's like ever since NBC lost their contract in 2002, it done went to trash. They don't even set up the games. Like, yeah, they got the commercials and shit, man, but they don't set up the games no more. And then think about it. Nike was running the game back in the 90s. You could say Michael Jordan, but shit, you saw commercials with Charles Barkley, David Robinson, hell, even Scottie Pippen. Get what I'm saying? It was more to put them players out there in the forefront to make you even care about and watch the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the game is down 40%, dog. I mean, I don't even really watch it until the playoffs, dog. I can't watch the in-season tournament. It's been around for a few years. I'll wait until they get to actually have an 8 seed because I don't think they should have ever did that. Top 8 in each conference, that's all it should ever be.
Yeah.
And then that in-season tournament shit, damn, y'all got to incentivize these dudes with $500K just to get them to play hard in the regular season? That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's
for sure.
So, but that's all I really wanted to say, man. You hit all the major points. Everybody out there, man, y'all start watching Man Down Sports. My man be on point. Start hitting his channel up.
Yeah. Hit that like button, baby. All right, man.
Hit that like button.
Thank
you, bro.
Yep.
All
right, let's get two more calls, man. I need to hear from somebody else. But yeah, I mean, do anybody got anything different? Do they think is something else that's messing the league up? Like, because a lot of people think that the load management was messing the league up, and they was like, "Oh man, Kawhi." Because he mentioned that too. He was like, "Man, you buy a ticket and you show up to the game, and Kawhi's not playing." So that don't make a lot of sense to me because why would someone not watch the games on TV? They ain't got nothing to do with people that bought tickets and showed up and want nobody there. What's up, caller?
What's up? This D-Man.
What's up, big dog?
Hey, I was just trying to when you said about the league, I just want to chime in about what needs to be done to help the league get back to at least watchable. They need to bring back all 5 positions. Bring back the center position. Bring back the power forward position. Bring back defense and bring back competitiveness.
Yeah.
And put the star players in the dunk contest. I remember John Morant. I fuck with Ja. He in Memphis. He said he need 1 billion followers to even get in the dunk contest.
Everybody trying to market and monetize everything, man.
But 1 billion followers?
That's crazy, man. No, nobody don't nobody do it for the love of the game no more, man. That's what Dominique and Mike was doing. That was for the love of the game, baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was for the love of the game, man. They would. I mean, even and Kobe followed that. Look, I'm gonna be in a dunk. Everybody that was somebody that was athletic, that they could dunk and all that stuff. That especially the wing players, they always like, man, MJ, Dominique, Dr. J, they killed that dunk contest, and we go keep the trend going. We go keep the tradition going. And the greatest players always got in the dunk contest. Who stopped that? LeBron. Ain't been in not one dunk contest. Not one dunk contest, man. And now that's the trend. Like, you know what I'm saying? The apex LeBron. Now we got to admit, LeBron, ever since Kobe left, LeBron's been an apex predator in the NBA.
Right.
And they follow what he do. You know, so he set the trend. I mean, what that man ain't never getting dunk contest, and I understand why, because I seen his high school dunk contest.
Right, that what I said the same shit.
He was supposed to lost that jump.
That shit was trash.
That was trash.
Bro, like what the fuck?
Hey, I was like, LeBron, you gotta do something more than jump high. Like you gotta do something when you get up there. He just jumping high and dunking. Yeah.
And look, like I seen the clip of Kareem and Dr. J do the one-on-one. They need to do that. Bring that shit back. Let the star players do one-on-one.
Oh, they'd be scared. LeBron wouldn't do that one either. They'd be scared. They'll be scared because Kyrie Irving will cook them all. Kyrie Irving will cook them all.
Yeah. Him, Jason Tatum,
KD, Shea Gilgeous,
Devin Booker.
Yeah. Oh my God. And Paul George. Don't nobody want to get cooked by Paul George, because we telling everybody Paul George ain't even a top 15 player no more. So when your favorite player gets cooked by Paul George or Shea Gilgeous or Kyrie, then you gonna know what the real is. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna know.
And them niggas the villain. Like they don't want to get cooked by the villain.
Nah.
You know, the media don't like them.
Nah, the NBA don't like that. You remember when the and one guys first started doing all these crazy dunks and they getting on the internet and everybody was begging David Stern to help the dunk contest in the NBA by inviting the and one guy, the street guys. And we wouldn't. When I was young, I couldn't understand why they wouldn't do that. I was like, man, that's go help your league.
Because them niggas were scared to lose.
They were scared to lose. You know how bad it look if you supposed to have the best players in the league and they get lost, they lose in the dunk contest to some guy off the street. They couldn't have it. They couldn't have it, man. They couldn't have it.
Look, what's the white dude? McClung did it last year.
Yeah, but they activated him from the G League. That's still helping the NBA out. But if it was a street dude from and one, if it was the Arab there come in and beat Ruben Patterson in the dunk contest or whoever it was, Desmond Mason, that would have been embarrassing for the league. You know, the Arab there, the dude. Who's the dude that did the 720? Oh,
I don't remember this. Somebody did the 720.
Somebody did a 720. Somebody did a 360 twice and dunked it.
Damn.
It might not have been a 720. He might have spent around one time and then spent half and dunked it backwards. I think that's what it was.
That's still crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. You can still look it up. It's still online. I think he actually did the dunk on camera that I could find. He probably finished the dunk twice. So he's done it more than once. Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, look that up.
I mean, it's just, you know, like what the last caller said, 500,000 for a dude to take the game serious. Get a 500,000 to the audience, to the people watching that come to the game. They should give us 500,000 for watching the All-Star game. That's how bad the All-Star game. Pay me to watch that, because that product is bad, man. Yeah, they already getting millions of dollars in contract money, bro. You need another $500,000 to play for real?
Yeah,
Come on, bro. That don't make sense.
Yeah,
Don't make sense.
it's crazy.
But you know, that's I ain't gonna keep you, bro. But I just had to say that shit, bro.
All right, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for the call. Yep. All right, one more call. Super chat, Sergio, appreciate it, big dog. What's your top 3 most influential in sports, and what quotes have you lived by any of the names mentioned? Top 3 most influential is going to be Jordan. Is going to be influential. I would say Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali during that time, and the stance that he took by not going to the war and by saying, you know, I'm not going to go fight them. They ain't never done nothing to me. My enemy is right here in America. You know, I think that was influential, right? Definitely, whether it was negative or positive. Definitely Michael Jordan. He you know, we talk about LeBron being the apex predator right now in the league, and Kobe being the apex predator in the league when he was in. Michael Jordan is the apex predator of sports, and probably beyond sports, he's probably the apex predator of famous people. Like when they talk about him coming in the room and he's levitating, only 3 people levitate when they come in: Michael Jordan, Prince, and Jesus. Right? When you see them in there, so you know that's, and I know that's might be a little blasphemous, you know, forgive me for that, but that's influence. Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, and the third one, I would say Harriet Tubman, because who has rushed for more yards than Harriet? Nobody. And with that, I'm gonna end the show, man. Appreciate it. Oh, what quotes they live by? Probably when Michael Jordan was asked if he could fly, and he said, "Yeah, for a little bit." Yeah, that's my favorite quote. All right. Oh yeah, Z-Man. Yeah, Michael Jackson too. He levitated a little bit too, but that's cause he was probably high. But one last phone call. Dino, what it is?
Nah, man, you can't end this show with Harriet, bro. Oh my goodness, man. That's funny.
What? Did I tell any lies though? Did I tell any lies? Who?
I think it was because you hit like a 2-second pause for that narrative.
Yeah, but who rushed for more yards than Harriet though?
Man, you gotta stop, man. You gotta be stopped for that one. That was a good one, man. I had to call in on that one. That was funny, man. That was funny.